Hello, my name's Katie Thompson, and I'm really interested in how aerosol particles can cause ice to grow in clouds. Ice nucleating particles, or INP, are particles that can catalyse the formation of ice in clouds. These ice crystals then grow at the expense of the surrounding water droplets and quickly become large enough to precipitate out of the cloud, as demonstrated in this diagram here. This means that obviously there's an increase in precipitation, but it also means that the overall volume of the cloud is being reduced, which also reduces its reflectivity. And that obviously has some implications for climate. As you know, there are many sources of anthropogenic aerosols: wildfire, car exhausts, harvest, just to name a few. And these aerosols, if they act as ice nucleating particles, could be causing a human-induced reduction in cloud reflectivity. So I really want to investigate this as part of my PhD to understand more about the human impact of these particles. In my initial work, I collected some aerosol samples over Bonfire Night, where the burning of bonfires and the setting off of fireworks does release large amounts of aerosols into the atmosphere. And so I wanted to determine if these aerosols were acting as INP when they get to cloud level. So to do this, I collected aerosol samples onto filters over the course of Bonfire Night. I then removed those aerosol samples into suspension with distilled water and pipetted that suspension into these very tiny droplets onto a cold stage. I was then able to slowly reduce the temperature, as demonstrated here, until all of the droplets were frozen, and then also record the temperature at which they were to freeze. This is important because, in general, a higher temperature at which freezing occurs is indicative of a more efficient INP. Therefore, if these combustion aerosols being released over Bonfire Night were causing a significant increase in INP, we would potentially see an increase in those freezing temperatures. As an initial investigation into this impact, I have selected a couple of sampling periods that are representative of both the before and during Bonfire Night celebrations. As you can see, the calculated INP concentrations, plotted here against temperature, do not vary significantly, despite this distinct increase in black carbon observed here. This indicates that black carbon is not a significant ice nucleating particle, but further analysis will be needed, and I do plan to continue this work throughout my PhD. But for now, thank you very much for listening.